We're like,
Yay, and we're live. Yes. Hi, Kat.
hello, we finally made it.
We have, exactly. So, yeah, so we're having a conversation today about stress or magic and what does your body run on? And, we're all very busy. We all have our lives, and, a lot of us don't even stop to think twice about that question. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what that looks like when you ask that question and how you can change
Well,
it?
it's an interesting question. There's a lot of things that you have to look at, like what is magic, right? And what is stress and all of that. And what I was looking at when we started to discuss this particular topic was how a lot of us are very good at procrastination. I think
Yes,
that's the word, right?
it is.
Procrastination.
Procrastination, yeah.
And we've learned since we were young that we wait until the last minute because then we suddenly get very focused, or we get very like basically laser focused, and we can get so much done in very short time. And we get a lot of satisfaction from that often ever since we're young. So we've trained our system to have that as a fuel to like push things forward so that the stress is what gives us the energy to get things done.
Yeah.
And there is this whole other energy too that most of us also know, and that's the energy when things just magically work out, when things literally just flow into each other, and suddenly you have more time than you thought. You could drive somewhere and it took 1 hour less than you thought. You find everything very quickly when you're going to pack, like all of that, which is as if by magic, right?
Mhm.
If by magic, that flow of energy moves, and it allows you to basically get everything done, to move much quicker than usual, but you don't have the fuel of being like pushing yourself to that
Yeah.
moment. You can't avoid it anymore. So for me, those are two big differences. In that way, I'm looking at magic as something something unexpected, inexplainable, something that literally just shows up, gets created without the normal A to B, the linear, the transactional creation. That's
Mhm.
in this case what I talk about when I talk about magic. And I've noticed with my own body that when I allow it to run on magic, when I allow it to follow the energy of everything, I have so
Yes.
much ease. And
Yeah.
it doesn't take a lot of energy from my body when I push it to the very last minute, and then like I will still get it done. And
Mhm.
my body like kind of goes like, ew, did we
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
way?
So then is there a difference between doing and being when you're being that?
No, and that's a great question, because I get that the stress part is connected to doing.
Yeah.
So the stress part is you don't really, the doing is so, it's kind of linear. It also has judgment connected to it. You have to get it done. You're bad if you don't get it done. You're good if you get it done. So that kind of like pushing into getting things done is a doing based in judgment,
Yeah.
while flowing more with, you know, flowing more with what actually pops up to do first, what you need to, oh, I need to go and look here, or following the little whispers basically of the future and of the universe when you create, when you move forward in your life and in your business and in your creation. That is a being, because that is actually, there's no judgment. If you know, the whispers they're not good or bad. It's not
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
this comes first, then this is better.
Yeah.
Really this like non-linear, chaotic way of being with the universe. And for your body, there's so much relaxation in the being part.
Mhm.
While the doing part is this nearly like an adrenaline push
Yes.
into, and we can use that too. It's not wrong. Again, like you can use adrenaline to get to creation. You can literally like play with it. And the difference is, if you have that access to the magic, the flow, the being, then you can start inserting little manipulations to get to this. to go, which would be like a low adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I missed the train, so I have to get there. But I like the particular difference. Like magic has a lot to do with being and being willing to be, being willing to trust, being willing to follow the energies.
Yeah.
And your body is so much part of that, because you can't really just follow the energy up here. You and your body follow the energy. Well, the doing and the stress is very much directed from your mind. It's directed by the judgment of good or bad, right or wrong, and that whole value system that comes with that.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's like a force energy on one hand and then a relaxation on the other hand, which when you say it like that, you can see that there's going to be an impact on your body in either way. And the relaxation is going to have a gentler kind of creation with your body as opposed to the force, which is going to change your body and do something. Can you talk about the difference in what that's going to create for your body?
Yeah, and it's funny that you asked that, because another part that, we've talked, it sounds a little bit when we talk as it is like singular events and singular spurts. And really, most of us go through life at a constant stress level, at a constant doing level. So even there may be like smaller doing goals, but then there's like bigger goal, like success, get a house, get a family, get a job, get a career, like all of that underlying stress level of that, the doing, like the fundamentals of doing for your body. It means that it's always in kind of like flight and fight mode on a low level, like this low level stress that's always there. It's never good enough. It's always something more you should be doing so that you can kind of like get ahead.
Yeah.
And a lot of people know that today. So it's also that even though you know it, you still have it kind of like in your backbone. So that's becomes even more low level stress. Well, when you start playing with the sense of relaxation and being, and actually seeing what comes to you. What can I receive today? What can whisper to me today? What can I receive today? What can I ask for today? What can I play with today? What can I explore today? There's this relaxation that actually allows your body to relax, which in that relaxation actually allows it to become more aware of what it can receive and what you can receive, like what is available in the world. Because when you're on the doing, when you're in the doing, you are so focused on where you're heading that you're missing all these little magical doors or gifts along the way. So it is it's interesting because it also combines so much of your being and your body, while your mind is very much in the doing and the stress part of it, and the relaxed, more magical parts is more body and being, starting to actually have more of a communion, more of a friendship, more of a co-creation, and then moving through the world.
So I heard in what you were saying just then, you were you gave us some examples of some questions you could ask to get your body to be in more of that relaxational state. But are there any other tools that you can use if you find that you're getting into that, the stress, and you want to get out of that and start to be a little bit more magical and
well, I love it. Start to be a little bit more magical.
Yeah, so you've got to start somewhere. Get yourself from one to the next.
Well, there are a few questions that is really good to ask, just very simple questions. So one is, you can literally ask, am I being or doing right now? It breaks the automatic, and it gives you a chance to look at, okay, am I being or doing right now? And then if you're a lot of doing, so what would it take for me to just be with this for a moment, be with it and see what is required? And this is one of my favorite questions to ask. Is this relevant? Because so many times with the doing, it's so linear and it has so many like check-in points where you want to go, that a lot of those things are actually not relevant. So you can ask, is this relevant? Is this
Yeah.
required? Is this actually something I need to do?
Yeah.
So start by asking questions, and questions that allows you to take it, that basically creates a little pause, a little stop, so that you can pull back from that automatic stress fueled movement that just goes one way, and kind of, it's an interrupt. The
Mm-hmm.
question, an interrupt in that. And in that interrupt, you can say, okay, so what would it take for me to be here, to totally be here? And then ask, okay, now what is required? Where can I go next?
Mm-hmm.
What choice haven't I even considered? And that's also one of those things where when we're on the automatic moving forward from doing and stress, we often miss that, okay, the choice, what choice haven't I considered here? What is
Yeah.
possible and available that I haven't even begun to tap
Yeah.
into at this
I
point?
love,
And that's
I
where
love
the
that.
magic.
Yeah, that's great. And I just want to go back to what you mentioned earlier about, being relevant,
Mm,
because I guess we take on so much that isn't relevant. But what is it that, well, I guess by asking that question, we get a sense of whether it is or not. But can you just expand on that and a little bit more about
well,
taking on that? Yeah.
it's interesting too, because I was starting to also look at the, if we take the whole like doing and being with bodies and even healing, if you look at this, so bodies heal in the most mysterious ways. We
Mm,
know that, science knows that too. Like it's not the same for everyone, it's not the same every time. Bodies have like a capacity to heal and to find ways of changing and becoming different in the way it shows up in the world all the time. So if we're willing to look at if this is relevant, we can also continue to look at that with our bodies. So if you look at, if you're going to allow magic to exist, and if you're going to be flowing with the universe and with the possibilities and choices that come up all around you all the time, you need to continue to look at, is this relevant? Because it
mm-hmm.
will change all the time. So when you're very with our bodies, sometimes when there's something up with them, for example,
Yeah.
something seemingly wrong with our bodies, we tend to, we're kind of trained to go into the linear way of looking for a solution and then sticking with that, whatever plan we've been given. If you do this, then it'll heal. But what if you continuously were willing to really be with your body and ask, okay, is this still relevant? Is this like what is required here? Like that question, is this relevant? It's not a one and all question. It's a
Yeah.
question that continuously changes every 10 seconds for you, for your body, for people around you. So it's, that's also where the magic and the being is such an important part of that. It's so helpful because then
Yeah.
you're able
Yeah.
to ask for 10 seconds instead of the doing, which is more like ticking off the boxes and move
Yeah.
forward. And I'm a great doer. Like I am awesome at doing. So I've trained a lot at relaxing into the being and allowing things to actually show up and move with me. And it is an amazing difference for my body. And
Yeah.
and I notice changes in my body from that really is coming from the relaxation into magic
Yeah.
instead of the relaxation, instead of the doing into stress.
Yeah.
So there is a whole thing there basically to explore. So
Yeah.
using those questions, am I doing or being? Um, what what would it be like if I was being with whatever is going on right now? Just stop for a moment and then ask, what is required?
Yeah.
What choices are available that I have not considered? What possibilities are here that I haven't even begun to tap into?
Oh, yeah, wonderful questions. And actually one of the examples that one of the things that I discovered recently, quite recently, is that I don't really sleep very much. And I used to make that so wrong. Yeah, I probably have about 3 to 4 hours a night. And I used to get quite stressed about that because, you know, that's not kind of the right or normal thing. And I get, and somebody actually said to me, is that a capacity of yours? And when I looked at that, it was like so light. And it took me out of the wrongness of it. And I get that also when you can get out of the wrongness of something, you start also to not have the stress. So can you talk a little bit about wrongness and rightness and how that can also contribute as well?
It is such a brilliant example, Laura. Thank you. Because that is often what we
Yeah.
do. Because we have in the doing and stress, you have a right and wrong, the judgment. So you need 8 hours of sleep. Obviously, Laura, what are you doing? Right? That's a given. To be able to do as much as you're supposed to do in life, you have to sleep 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
So there's a whole system of judgment in place. And what you're looking at is, what if that's a capacity? What if my only needing 2 hours of sleep is a capacity, not so other people who sleep more are wrong? It's a unique capacity for you. And once you are able to relax into, okay, I have a weird sleeping pattern.
Yeah.
How does it get any better than that? What an amazing superpower, only to need 2, 3 hours sleep at night. And that also goes again out of the doing, the sleeping.
Yes, exactly. The needing to do this in order to be right and perfect. And yeah.
But that also leads me to, how much do we actually disregard our capacities because they don't fit in with whatever like system of checklist of being successful that we have, instead of like relaxing into, okay, I'm very different here. And for some people that may be, I can write an article in like 1 hour. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm saying that for some people that may be a capacity they have, and that particular capacity is actually not based on stress. It's based on that it's more fun. It's based on that's when the words comes. It's based on like, so there's also this way where we disregard even any capacity then that seemingly then seems like a stress related capacity. We then disregard that as not magic. So you have to be in the question all the time. So you could also ask that, is this a magic capacity that I have that I haven't acknowledged yet?
Well, that certainly changed a lot for me when I looked at that. So, and I loved all your questions. And yeah, what else is possible for our bodies? Thank you so much, Kat, for this wonderful conversation. And yeah, what else is possible?
Thank you.
So,
And I know one thing: you're not going to go and
yeah,
sleep. So
yeah.
you have a lot of practical being left to do today. And thank you so much. And I wonder what else is possible if we actually relaxed in the magic that we and our bodies be. What superpowers could we discover? What capacities is underneath that then is allowed to come out? That for me is really, really fascinating and fantastic to explore.
Me too. I love it. Thank you so much. And we're going to have another conversation hopefully next month or soon. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.